From birth, the children of the North hear tales of the end of the world. A battle so great, the gods fall and the 9 worlds are consumed by frost and fire. But these tales are false. The gods did not perish. For 7 years, our worlds have been devoured by death and destruction. Now mankind must rise and do what the gods could not. Ragnarok must end.
Okay, fingers crossed, here we go. All right. Back in business. As you can see, by the way, Daymar is much larger than Delamar. I think it's maybe 1,000 or so kilometers in diameter.
Good job, John. How are you doing? If this mission goes well, you want me to?
John, what's your speed going down?
John, the view is sound.
Okay, so what, just don't have a break, sit down until after they've jumped? By the way,
Okay,
they're gonna
right
lead us
there.
in. Right then, here we go.
All right. So yeah, fans of the series can rejoice. You know, you've seen Rathalos. Now we got Rathian. The pair is back.
All right. The king and queen of dragons. Looks like Tokuda-san is hiding in the brush here.
Okay, yeah, right. He already engaged combat, which I don't know if it's the smartest move, but
that's okay.
Okay, nice,
Rathian
nice.
lost him, though.
You notice how the mini map just turned purple there?
Yeah. What's that mean?
So that means that we are now hidden from the monster.
Okay.
The monsters, we are no longer in direct combat with them.
Okay.
So he's gonna, he's gonna make a few distractions here, try and draw.
Luring him with sound.
Rathian.
Like. Sound of the slinger, right?
Nice.
Oh,
up the tree.
Boom! Nice. Oh, baby, it's rodeo time.
Oh, man, that voice just makes it even better.
Oh, this is why I love the insect blade, because you can ride monsters like this.
He just ran up on those mushrooms on the tree and jumped on.
Because, as we've explained before in previous PR stuff, you can use the environment all kinds of
there's so many different environments. And
you
know things you can use to assist you in your hunt of these monsters.
That's right. And
nice. We got a few cheap shots in. We're going down.
As you can see, we've changed the rodeo system. Now you can move between different parts of the monster. We've knocked him down.
So yeah,
Tokuda-san, go nuts, baby.
Tokuda-san's a huge fan of the dual blades.
Now, it looks to me like, depending on where he hits, the color of the numbers, the hit point numbers. Right. What's up with that?
So the monsters, they have more points of their body that are more resistant to damage, and then their weak points. So like the head and the tail here on this Rathian, you notice the numbers turn orange when you're hitting a weaker point. That you're gonna be doing more damage with your weapons.
Okay.
So it's a good idea to probably focus in on those to really put on the hurt.
Okay.
I mean, those locations are going to change up between monsters, obviously.
Right.
Not everyone's going to have the same weak point.
Right. Like, so for instance, for Rathian here, her head and tail are softer, right? Okay, so they're going to take more damage. And it sounds like for less effective areas, it's gray numbers are going to show.
Yeah, they're going to be whiter or gray.
Okay, cool.
And I mean, if you're a huge fan of the series and you like the classics, I don't want numbers. You can turn them off.
Nice.
Personally,
options.
Options
are always a nice thing.
I need as much information as I can get.
Yeah.
I'm not as good as the player as you, so
well.
That's okay. All right, so we got.
If I'm taking a picture of evidence of the things I'm seeing in the game, then I can share those pictures with the guys in the city, for example, and then I can trigger discussions with those guys based on the picture I took. So that's a very interesting mechanic that can create that feeling that you can explore everything and you can gather informations and share those informations with NPCs, but also between players. Another very interesting thing here is the feeling of scale. Here we know that the players, that they will explore everything. They will want to go everywhere. So we need to handle large-scale ingredients, like that huge statue, where you can go very close to it and you can look at all the details on the statues. And of course, you can go inside of this kind of statue, and you can also get on top of it. I just want to show you something interesting about the scale and the feeling of scale. So I'm going to land on the top of the statue and you will realize how big it is. So here we have a wonderful vista. And I want to show you, so I'm going to go more in the developer edition mode, where I can move the camera very easily, and you can really notice and understand the feeling of scale when you look at that little monkey on top of the...
Okay, so now we're focusing our attentions on the light cruiser, trying to deal as much damage as possible there. It's quite great actually to get in from behind, because then you're going to try and avoid some of that laser fire that's coming off the light cruiser itself. So as you can see here, Rob's actually now shooting one of the Imperial light cruisers. That's made the marker go yellow. That's sending a message to all the other players within the flight to go and attack this now. If you attack this now, you're going to get that additional damage bonus. So what we've really tried to do in Starfighter Assault is make sure there's a varied amount of play, so that it caters to all play styles. So we've got a couple of different ways you can actually play, especially when you're attacking. And so here you could either try and focus on the objective, maybe you're an objective player. Maybe you're somebody who's all about having the most kills possible in the match and you're all about dogfighting. Or maybe you're somebody who's about protecting, so maybe you're going to want to protect those AI guys, those AI Y-Wings that are coming in. There's a good varied amount of different play styles, and you can pick any one. So now we're coming up for our trench run style tunnel, and the objective here is for the rebels that they want to come in and take out these shield generators. The shield generators, as it kind of says in the name, they're shielding the whole dock. And the idea is that the rebels want to take these down, so that's going to make the Star Destroyer susceptible to being attacked. The wiring for the rebels is really great because for this particular map here, we're attacking as the rebels, so it's going to be all about trying to deliver as much damage as possible to those objectives, and the wiring is definitely the ship to do that in. So now we're on phase 3, and the idea is that we're going to take down these couplings. The reason why we're taking down these couplings is because there's one last shield active over the Star Destroyer. We need to take down these couplings. It's going to stop all power going to the Star Destroyer. It's going to make the core underneath vulnerable so we can get in, take out that core, and hopefully blow the whole Star Destroyer up. And so all of our ships within Starfighter Assault, you'll be able to jump into the cockpit. So it's really kind of get you into the action here. So this is really great, this phase actually, because it's really, really tight dogfighting play. So you can see that you're trying to get in and amongst the clamps, you know, avoiding not only starfighters, but the actual clamps themselves. And some great piloting here by Rob. Just managed to weave his way in and out.
So now the power couplings have been disabled, you've got a 30-second window to deal as much damage to the Star Destroyer reactor and complete the final objective. Fantastic, the rebels have managed to win, they've taken down the Star Destroyer and won the round.
We have faced a considerable setback this day.
Siwa, my home, the sacred oasis.
I thought he was dead.
Our Medjay, the last protector, our treasure and faith. Siwa has not been the same.
I hope you are here to rid us of Meduna.
Be my eyes, Senu. This temple resembles a fortress. What has happened?
Get out of my way.
There you are, Medunamon. The next masked one on my list. Now it is my turn to tip the balance of Anubis. Better be careful here.
I should go drop these priests in the desert. Let us stand to take them.
Ah, a fine bow.
If the people see these dead priests, they will surely revolt.
It is too dangerous. I will pass for now. Guide me, Senu. Medunamon.
But it will be death for all. What is she?
Do you grow? Do you wither?
Italian, you cannot defeat her. What would you suggest I do? Throw down your sword and kneel.
What have we unleashed?
The cry of the forests. Scream of the rivers.
His foe is beyond us, Celebrimbo.
Not with the spirit of Khan'an at our side.
Weapons featured in Far Cry 5, the revolver, and you'll be able to customize those weapons by adding attachments or changing the color scheme and hunt the cult in style.
Go Boomer!
Alright, Boomer showing off one of his skills. This can really be a game changer in a fight where you're a bit low of ammo or you don't have the right weapon for the situation.
He's a good dog. You know, Boomer's a great all-rounder who can support any playstyle. Even without your commands, he'll fetch guns for you, take down cultists in a fight, and he'll tag enemies and animals from far away with his keen sense of smell.
The game being set in America, it was important for us to bring a wide variety of vehicles from pickups to tractors to big rigs like this one. This one is specifically called the Widowmaker. It's like a battering ram on wheels, and is a great tool to create chaos and take down enemy vehicles or roadblocks.
And it looks like we got one here.
Let's do it.
Pedal to the metal.
That Voss bobblehead didn't even move. We're so good.
We got him glued onto the dash.
That's it. Boom.
So it sounds like we're listening to the Cult radio station. I gotta say, some of their hymns are pretty catchy, Phil. Now we're pulling up to Rye & Sons Aviation. This is the home of Nick Rye. He's a crop duster and a family man. He's doing what he can to keep his family safe and keep the cult from getting his plane, but it looks like they've beaten us here, so let's jump right in. There's no time to waste.
And let Boomer kind of create distractions for us to get behind cover and help Nick fight the cultists. In Far Cry 5, you'll need to improvise and choose from a vast arsenal of weapons and find elements in the environment to take down the enemy. There you go.
Changes the handling of the bow. That's really interesting. Now, there were wolves there last time, John, and these wolves would pursue you down this road, and then Deacon had to turn his back, shoot a wolf, and he got clotheslined right up there, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. So this time you see that he wasn't being chased by the wolves. That's a dynamic event that can just you know, it's just that can happen or not. It just depends on when you're playing the game.
Interesting.
And this time Deacon saw the ambush and he was able to avoid it. So he kind of comes up and around and behind them.
So does weather impacts whether these creatures show up or not in daytime and nighttime, all that stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. So especially the freakers, they come out. They're mostly nocturnal, but they will come out as the weather gets colder. They become stronger in the cold.
Right.
And so that will, you know, again, kind of change up the way the game plays.
That's very, very... I kind of love that you decided to do this as a demo to show two completely different iterations on the same exact mission in the game.
Yes, exactly. So we wanted to have, you know, the job is basically the same. Deacon hears that his buddy's in trouble, rides out to save his life. And, you know, as you can see here, this is a completely different experience from what we showed in the first demo. In the first one, Deacon gets clotheslined, and it sounded very painful, by the way.
Oh, speaking of painful, okay, so the combat in this game is fairly brutal. John, you want to talk about that a little bit?
Well, we just wanted to make it as, you know, as realistic as possible. So, yeah, we're not holding back on that at all. And, you know, and Sam's done most of his own stunt work for this. And I can tell you that when we're on the performance stage and we're capturing that stuff, we just try to keep it real, right?
Right. Well, right. There was sort of a decision made at some point. What I've been on the project for what, 2 or 3 years now?
Yeah, I think 3 years.
And so early on, I think there was a more, what were we? It was more Kurt Russell and sort of a two-fisted thing, and then it turned into, hey, let's take this quite seriously. And what that required is a lot more. Taking this combat stuff and showing the horror of the violence that happens and it were this type of circumstance to take place. I mean,
I'm gonna take off your head!
Die!
You shouldn't have come You're surrounded! There's nothing you can do!
Come on. No, 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 no! Let's go! Did that just happen? Yeah.
I'm getting reports of a helicopter with a wrecking ball?
It's complicated. Turns out Martin Lee is running the demons.
The guy who runs the homeless shelter?
Like I said, complicated. Sit tight, Yuri. I got this. Please, let me got this.
That helicopter is destroying the city.
I know.
You need to bring it down.
I know.
Maybe you could superhero a little faster?
Working on it, Yuri. Too close. Okay, Lee, here I come! Hi, is this the flight to Newark? Why are you doing this?
Because no one else will! Ah!
Lee, this is crazy! This isn't you!
You don't know me!
Need a plan. Need a plan real fast. I guess this is the plan! Come on, Pete, you got this! You got this, you got this, you got this! Please don't screw this up.